that admits in 2023 an orange and white UFO crashed into an Air Force fighter jet during a routine training mission. And the UFO caused so much damage to the $60 million jet that it was forced to land. And that is not the only new evidence that they released. Trump's top science advisors recently admitted that the government may have anti-gravity technology. Look at this.
Our passenger planes are slower than they used to be. Our trains crawl compared to those in other parts of the world. Our cars do not fly. We are capable of so much more. Our technologies permit us to manipulate time and space.
Manipulate time and space. Oh my gosh, I'm surprised that hasn't been a bigger story. So why has the Trump administration decided to disclose all of this?
Okay, so they're talking about technology that manipulates time and space. I mean, I could share the reason why, and I'm gonna get back into the video after this, but the reason why that's not that big of a story is simply because this is stuff that we've already known. I mean, I mean, for me personally, I just don't believe there's a coincidence in the fact that Star Trek in the 80s talked about this technology, about this system where you can call anybody all throughout the world and you can have it in your pocket, or, you know, the small thing. And now here we are with it. But that technology didn't exist at the time. But then even in shows like that, we're talking about warp speed and using black holes. And this is far beyond the public conception of the sciences have declared those things to be true. Like, no, you can actually do this. There are like these little breaks in time. Space can be it is malleable, or you can use it. You can, for instance, like to get between two distances. The famous example is you could try to travel from here to here, but the fastest way to do it, if you're able to, is just if you can bend the two. And if you can bend the two, then you can just hop from here to here. And then when everything makes sense, you traveled a long distance, but what you did was you moved the fabric. So we've known these things for a while. I think it's not a bigger story because these are things that we already know. So what's there to cover? But it's interesting to say that they have the technology. I mean, like to outright and say it, but I don't know. That's kind of weird to me. I don't think that's really new. So maybe it's new for this guy, but I don't think it's new for most of us watching. Let's go back to here.
Now, I want to ask former Pentagon UFO whistleblower
try not to stop it.
And investigator Lou Elizondo. Lou, it's nice to have you with us. First of all, the UFO that crashed into the fighter plane, what do we know about that?
Well, the problem is that we really don't know much, and therein lies the challenge, right? When you have an incident involving a $40 million combat aircraft, and only the details now are starting to be released through Freedom of Information Act and FAA, there's a problem. Now, we've been saying for the last 8 years since I've been out that there have been dozens upon dozens of these near-air collisions that have occurred with military and civilian and commercial pilots. This is not just happening with military aircraft. Now, this is the first time we heard of an actual mid-air collision, but some of these objects are coming so close to combat aircraft that they are literally splitting that combat formation right down the middle. So you can imagine how close combat aircraft fly when they're flying in formation. Now imagine a UAP coming in right between them. So this is nothing new. And I think, you mentioned earlier, why is the administration having the conversation now? And I think it's because this has really become the worst kept secret in American history. It's been 80 years of suppression and misinformation. And we're at the point now where I think the administration realizes that America can handle the truth.
Yeah, it does feel like more has been trickling out over the last few years. You've been working with the FBI on their investigations, their FBI investigations. What can you tell us about what they're finding? Is there anything new there?
Yeah, well, I'll say this. First of all, America is getting a heck of their money spent very well with the FBI. I'm absolutely amazed how well they're doing. In fact, they're running laps around the Department of Defense's Aero program that was established specifically to look at UAP. And the FBI team, it's a small but scrappy team of folks, are really doing one heck of a job. And I think if you look at Luna's recent statement that she said when she was asked about the FBI meeting that we helped organize in the SCIF, She said it was a 10 out of 10, and that I guess Arrow now has some explaining to do. So the FBI is doing fantastic, but also we can't forget about Tulsi Gabbard and the DNI, the Director of National Intelligence, and the entire intelligence community. There are pockets of excellence that are working very, very hard behind the scenes also to try to help boost the FBI's efforts. And I think we're finally getting a congealing, if you will, of the right people, the right resources, the right authorities to finally shed some light on this incredible mystery and give the information not only to Congress, but the American people.
We only have about a minute left, but the clip that we played in the intro, I just kind of find to be fascinating. The top White House science advisor saying that the U.S. has anti-gravity and something about time technology, almost like it almost just kind of slipped out. What are we to make of that?
Well, you're talking about the engineering of the space-time metric. And that is something that we looked at in ATIP, and before that, the programs before mine, and certainly afterwards. This is nothing new. What is new is that the government is starting to become increasingly more transparent on what it knows about these incredible enigmas that we call UAP.
Well, Lou Elizondo, we appreciate you coming on tonight. We appreciate.
Okay, I think that's the end of the video. Okay, so a couple things. One, these are nothing new. So we can check that off the box. This is nothing new. Two, I think in the grand scheme of things, like my personal thoughts on it is like, look, guys, like it's been so long since, we've seen the Roswell incident where the guy's holding up the aluminum foil talking about this is the material that the freaking UFOs were using. Like, my personal thoughts of this is that, first of all, I'm a man of space, and I love this country. I studied political science for 5 years at Cal State Long Beach. Go Beach. I love the country. I love space. I love science. And I'm a man of faith as well. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. The thing is that when I look at this thing, I don't have a problem with believing things I can't see or I don't understand. The problem with this is that it's been so long, and if you present the information that we have now, based on the information that we had in the 90s, they're so similar. We have made no progress. And we have iPhones. I mean, I'm shooting this on a Sony ZV-10. I mean, we have good cameras now, and we're still getting the same. Look at this. Look at this. We're still getting the same blurry, like, oh, this was captured with LiDARs because it's far away. And guys, like, we still get the blurry, like we're shooting this on a Razor camera. You know what I mean? Like a gosh dang Galaxy S2. We're still getting the same kinds of stuff. So it's hard for me to believe that we have more, or that the government is hiding something. What I think it is personally, I don't mean to ruffle any feathers, but what I do believe is I think this could be a way, kind of weird, follow me, stay with me, to like stimulate the economy. So for instance, there are people who spend a lot of money, they're buying equipment, a lot of high grade equipment. They're, constantly, getting people to buy stuff, so you see the money circulating, to go in towards investigating things that are not real. See what I'm saying? I just have a hard time believing that we have an ET. We have an actual, I think they're unidentified flying objects, but I don't think that they're alien craft. I don't think it comes from some other outer space galaxy. I don't think that's because, guys, it's been too long. Like, for me, it's been too long. But I think perpetuating it, there's some motive of doing that. There's clearly like a drip effect where they're not opening up the full funnel. But I don't think it's because of what we think. Like, oh, it's because there's UFO, like there's aliens. I don't think that. I think it's closer to something along the lines of like, let's keep them doing this. See what I'm saying? Let's keep them talking about it. It's good for engage. I don't know. It's clearly over my pay grade, but for sure, I don't see enough information to believe that there's actually aliens. Now, if you tell me that we have, anti-gravity technology. Yeah, I believe that because we've been talking about it since the 80s and stuff, or since the Jetson days. Like, we can defy, like, I believe that there's something to, like, presenting these things in other media forms. We like it, it's acceptable, and then next here we go with, here we go with phones, here we go with this, here we go with that. I think there's something to it. But let me know what you guys think. I love commenting in the comments. I think lastly, I will share, I don't think it's healthy to get so caught in between, like, the red and the blue and what side are you on, who's president, who's not. Because the truth is, for us guys down here, none of that stuff matters. I still have to provide for my wife. I still have to provide for my family. I still have to go to work. They've never really made too much of an impact. But what does matter is arming ourselves with the knowledge. I think that's what matters. So that's why I still keep up with the news. I still keep up with who's president. I still keep up with policies here and there. I still keep up with world events as it relates. But because I think when you're clueless, like I think some of these things are trying to get us to be, then they can throw out narratives as they want it, and then it kind of can confuse us. You see what I'm saying? Then it can make people in terror, like, oh my gosh, like somebody's gonna break in my house, like that. That's what I mean. It's like that's where I believe we've hit we care about politics too much. You need to arm yourself enough to know what's going on, to protect yourself with knowledge. But outside of that, I think this stuff is a waste of time. But it's good to know. It's good to know that somebody in the government had said that they actually have, and gravity manipulative, or things that can, offset time and space. They can move it. Okay, that's good to know. That's great to know. But outside of that, I don't believe it's worth any more. It's definitely unhealthy, controversial. I see some of these people are going crazy over this stuff. But let me know what you guys think, because I like having this discourse. I have no problem with talking with people who disagree. But if it's your entire life, I think you should reconsider, because they're gonna play you like a fiddle, and it'll be very unfortunate if we get to 2060, 2070, and we're still talking about the same blurry photos. You know what I mean? So, hey, man, guys, let me know what you guys think. I'm out of here. Jesus is the best. It's your boy MoFresh, as always.